Peace be upon you, guys, with you, Farouk, most of the Sufi and the technicians of the wool, who see this video. The uniforms of flashing in format, stopping FRP protection, Xiaomi accounts, Huawei accounts, and other important operations, which they use almost every day. They are dealing with the various Android brands, but most of them are not aware of the successive stages that pass through every operation and what is going behind the scenes and inside the source code for the software. And what is the most important algorithms and codes that are used in every process, and for this, we thought that we are working on a new series of videos on the channel here. And we will decompose the most famous and most important operations of the software that we always use in our job with various Android bonds with its various processors, so that we can be the first Arab channel that provides this type of content in a simple and easy way. During this series, I will tell you very important information and details that you will not see and do not hear anywhere else. We will start the series in this video, which will analyze one of the most famous software, which is the process of activating the ADP mode for Samsung mobile phones, which most of us know the process and use it a lot before that on the toll of the software. And if you are a software technician, and you have a curiosity and passion that you know what is going behind the scenes, so complete this video to the end. But if you are going to get and want to enter the world of software programming tools, then you must see this video for the end with a pleasure because it will help you very much, especially if you are not a beginner in programming. Because it explained to you with very important details, orders and codes, and you will need to know them, and you will be for you the tip of the thread. And the first way to professionalize the programming tools for the mobileware, and you are very hard, and I go down in the channel and do the bell. Because all the new videos are first hand, and if you want to learn the field of software mobile from the beginning and without any experience, you can subscribe to us in the online courses for the professional software mobile. You will have a link to you on the Young Mio and a full video. And the time at night, we start, and you can absorb the topic and walk with one. So let me take the most simple topic for you so that you understand it well, and I will give yourself to me sincerely, and I will let you understand all the need for all the operations of the software that we use in our work. It passes through successive stages and steps. And for this, let us make the most simpler for you the world more and give you a clearer example for you the general idea. We all know the operations of opening the browser and what we use with Samsung mobile phones. In order to be able to connect the mobile browser, and after that we can complete the job and use different small slogans, so that we can be able to. We stop FRP protection on Samsung mobile phones, so let's stay. On the different software, I explain the idea to you with an example on my tools, but it is the same steps and stages that you will see on the rest of the second tools, whether tools are paid or free. And the first need to connect the mobile and the cable in the MTB position, and then we go to the length that we will work on and press the implementation of the process of opening the browser, and shows us a message at the beginning that we warn that we must be connected to the Wi-Fi network. And when we press OK, then the tool begins to carry out the operation, and this happens through sequential and successive stages and steps, like what you see. To the extent that the process ends over the length and the browser is opened on the mobile screen without any problems. Okay, keep going to the process on the tool and see the stages that you went quickly, and here we have the first stage of the operation. It is the stage of preparation and communication. In the stage, this is the mobile phone and the quantity of its port in the second stage, which is the stage of reading information and the mobile phone. And the third stage, which is the stage of installing the MTB definitions, and this is done through the length that we use in the fourth stage, which is the stage of writing orders, through which the browser will be opened. This is the basic stage, and the fifth stage, which is the stage of uninstalling MTB definitions, which were installed on the computer, and this is also done through the tool that you will use. These are the stages that the process of opening the browser passes through most of the software, whether free or paid. I believe now that the picture in a little, and I began to understand the work mechanism and the successive stages that the software operations pass through. Okay, keep going back to our primary topic in this video, which is an analysis of the process of activating the USB debugging error mode.
Activating the ADP mode on Samsung mobile phones through the various tools software in Bardo, so that the topic is understood by the rates. We will analyze the process.
Of course, one of the most famous tools, which is dependent on a lot of SINs in their work in activating the ADB mode, is the SAMFW, which is rich in definition, which most technicians use in their job with Samsung mobile phones. So let us go to the tool and see it, and of course at the beginning and before we work on any tool, we must do the value of services on the mobile through the emergency connection and then write the code. In order to show us the value of the services, as you see this, and we will know before a little, and during the explanation, why do we do the value of this services before we work? Okay, let us go, run the tool, and connect the mobile to the cable, which is in MTB mode, and then we try. And make you mind the tool, it comes from different versions, but the way to work on it is one with simple differences in some internal orders, which we will know it, too, during our explanation, I mean in the old versions of the tool. You will find the list of operations in the name of the star of the zero window, the star of the net of mood. Okay, let us go, we try and go now for the tool and press the remove FRP process, and the process of preparing, identifying the mobile and reading its information begins. A message will appear to us asking us to activate the status of the value of services on the mobile through the code, and of course we were activated the value of services and the mobile connectors in the cable. We press OK and then start the ADB mode on the mobile and you will show us the activation of the ADB mode on the mobile screen as usual. After we do the error correction mode in the mobile, the program will start getting to know the mobile again in the ADP mode, and when it gets to know, then it will start with a regenerate process and the FRP protection is from the mobile. And we would have stopped the protection of the FARB on the length. Okay, this is completely entering the operation that you see always and you are working on the tool. Come. It is the stage of preparation and delivery to the mobile, and we can receive the compiler for mobile. After that, the process of reading information, mobile phone, model, issuance, and the rest of its information began, the first stage, and the second stage, which is the stage of activating the USB debugging errors from inside the mobile. In order to do the Android pack bridge mode or the IDP mode in the third and final stage, which is a hoping stage and overcoming the protection of the FRP in the three countries of the basic and successive stages. The operation passes from the beginning, and those who appear to us for the process of the operation on the program here. Okay, let us remain focused on this second stage, which is the stage of activating the ADP mode on the mobile, because the process is what will be the focus of our words in this video because it is the most important stage in all stages. Because you can dispense with the first stage, I mean, it is not important to read information in the mobile phone because it is not a strong process and you can work from others normal, and we can dispense with the third stage. It is the stage of exceeding FRP protection because we are able to implement this process on any free tool and we can implement it without using any tools. Because we are able to overcome protection through the ADB orders to overcome FRP protections and write this command on Windows using CMD and without what we use any external tools. But a moment, so it is possible that someone tells me how to skip the FRP, it is not important. This is the basic process that we use any length so that we can do it. I will tell you that you are not wrong because you have seen things from the point of view of an artistic person who was not programmed. Because for the programmer, I understand a stage in our case, this is the second stage, which is the stage of activating the IDP mode. Because it is not practical, we will not be able to do the ADP mode at all, and therefore we will not be able to overcome the protection that depends mainly on the activation of the ADP and therefore it is. All other stages will not have any necessary without implementing the second stage, and because we will focus on the second stage, and we will know how to do, and what details are done. And what is the scenes and inside the source code, and it is possible in the videos that come, we continue to talk about the rest of the other stages. This is in the case of Anko, I love the topic, and you would like this videos, and you will come. Because if you are probably, or if you want to enter the world of programming the software in general,
I will tell you one very important details and information. Since the tool of the SAMFW is programmed inside the .NET environment, specifically in the S. Of course, as you know, this is the tool that supports various operations in different delivery conditions, but like what we said, we are currently focusing on a specific process. It is the process of activating the ADB mode on the mobile, which you see in the Matastion in front of us, and let us solve the practical sequence based on source code, which is before us here and what is written in sharp as we said. Here is the first need that the process is paved and the connection with the mobile is completed through its compound port, which appears to us in the compasses inside the tool, as we said, and after that, the mice box is shown to the user. And send the activation list of services on the mobile through the code, after which the most important stage is being written here, which is writing a successive series of add orders. Through a dedicated method developed inside the tool to allow writing add orders by creating a new object from class serial board, through which add orders are written for mobile. After that, it is written. This is completely, and after we do the ADP in the mobile, then we can surround the water of the FRP on any length or without any tools originally, as we said, his father, the sequence of activating the ADP mode on Samsung mobile phones. Through add orders on the SAMFW tool and on any other tool, as we will see during our explanation. Good, let us take a second example of a newer version of the SAMFW tool. We also take a second example of the same process, but on a second tool that is famous for most of the Soviets, but seconds like that before we continue. And what did I want to use it in our job with Samsung mobile phones? And although you are not done, I did not subscribe to the channel and did the bell, so I will tell you all the details of this. In an easy way, this is because you are my love, but you are grateful, and we support us and subscribe to the channel. Because I will tell you on very important details and in it many programmers use add orders in their tools, but you do not know some of the important details that I will explain its episode now. In order to simplify the topic, as we are always used to our explanations, then they made us at the beginning. Add letters symbolize the word addination or attention, which is a set of orders and codes that were primarily developed for dealing and communicating between different models. Some wireless devices and some mobile devices have different jobs, such as sending and receiving messages and reading modem or mobile information and some important operations. And since the mobile devices, especially Samsung devices, contains interior affection devices, so we can deal with them and carry out some of the designated at. Okay, well, come. The first type is test orders and verification of whether the modem is supported and connected or not, and the second type is used to be acquainted and know the mobile information or the modem. And the acquitting of some special settings, and the third type is used to set or modify some modem or mobile settings. And the fourth and final type, which is used to carry out some operations on the modem and mobile devices in the four countries, are the basic types, which you will see with the orders. We are in our job with Samsung devices, we use this type. Oh Pasha, you are a programmer. You can use all these types in your work according to the required task, but in most mobile operations, only two types of this are used, which are appointment and implementation orders. Okay, so that we knew a quick joke from add orders, and we knew its function and importance. Subscribe to the channel. Oh Pasha, the matter that is before us, most of the programmers use it in their tools to deal with Samsung mobile phones, so let us stay in it a little and see the syntax, build the matter and the way to write it, and let us take the matter. And we understand it. First,
it is necessary to start letters at because this is the letters of the contact test between the modem or the mobile and the computer, meaning when you write the letters at alone for the mobile or the modem, so you will return to you as a result. Either it is okay, this means that the communication is good and you can complete the job and write the rest of the orders with your own or come back to us. This means that the communication is bad, mobile, or modem, which is not connected to the computer, and this is for the first part and the second part, which is the same matter, which begins with a sign of plus or plus. It is this that is written and passed for the mobile or the modem after verifying the call, and the function of this matter is that it is due to us information and the mobile phone connected to the cable is good like that. But now, someone can ask me and tell me, is this the only form that we can see on the orders of? I will tell you no, because you can see some other orders like that. Or like this, and the orders are usually used to change the trend in the CSC area on Samsung devices, and note here that the matter started with at and then the same thing. But there was an increase here with us, which is that the orders of this in front of us can contain a pamper or a value after a sign of equal. This values are not fixed and can change with the change of the same or its purpose. I mean, it is possible to take one value or take more value, but most often the value is 0 symbolizes the status of the BDU data protocol. And the value is 1 that symbolizes the textual situation. I mean, if you need to implement or write a lot of data, you choose a BDO situation. You must know it, which is that if you will write more than one thing in one line, then you write the letters at, then the first thing is, but after that, you will write the rest of the orders without the letters. You will separate every matter and order a pile sign, because if you wrote this command in one line and you wrote it every matter of them, then it will show you many mistakes and you will not be executed from the beginning. But if you would write every matter in a separate line, life must start with letters. This is a very simplified explanation of the orders of Edie, her job and her work. If you want to go deeper in the topic and know more information, because I will come back and be careful about you again, 3rd, 4th and 10th. It is that if you love to enter the world of software tools programming, then you must have a background for ATS orders, because it is very, very important. In order to know what I have important, then let us tell you examples of some of the operations in which the AT orders are used with Samsung mobile phones. AT orders will use them to read information and miss the mobile in MTB mode. And you use it to make a format for some Samsung models, and you will use it in the activation of the ADB mode as we know in this video. You will also use it in trend changes in the CSC area on Samsung devices, and you will use it in some operations that exceed the protection of KG or NoxGuard, and you will also use it in entry and exit from the status of dolls. In some advanced operations, AT orders are used in some international blasting operations, and a simple sample of the operations in which you will need AT orders. Okay, completely, and I think you are now starting to understand the topic. On the tool of the SAMFW, but this time we will apply the topic to the most recent issue of the tool and see the process of activating the IDP position on it. We analyze it together, and we see the sequence of orders, and if we go to the metashtion responsible for the operation here within the source code, then you will be here that the structure of the MIDIT itself has changed. And programmers used switch expression in this new version of the tool, but we do not have modifications and improvements in the code for the programmer itself, and this is a long explanation and not our topic now. But what is currently concerned with us is the sequence of the ADP mode activation process, and here is the first thing that was contacted with the mobile port, and then the reactivation of the test mode appeared through the code. If the delivery is completely and the value of the services is open and working on the mobile, then the process of writing the orders of AT for one mobile one after another begins. Like what you see in the leads that are before us, and note that it is the same orders that the programmer used in the version that missed the tool. The question remains: are the rest of the tools that support the ADP activation process using the same orders? Not the topic is limited to the SAMFW tool only? Most of the tools that support the ADP mode for Samsung devices use AT orders,
whether they are paid tools such as boxes and managels, or even are free tools.
Because of the image, it shows more, so we can take a second example on a second free tool that is very famous between the software, which is the TFT Unlock tool. Because this tool supports almost the same operations in all its different versions, and we will see the example of the latest version of the tool, so let us go to the tool code and see the mutation responsible for activating the ADB mode. Here at the beginning, the process of preparing for the process and delivering with the compiler port, and after the preparation and preparation process, began. To activate the ADB mode, which are the same orders that we have seen from a little on the versions of the SAMFW tool and are written for one mobile after another. Someone is activated on the mobile mode in the same way. This process is carried out with the same orders on the rest of the second tools, whether free or paid. This was a complete clarification and explanation of the most important orders, their function, importance, and ways to use them with Samsung mobile phones. Especially in the activation of the ADB mode, because you are estimated in the same way, carrying out the same other operations that we said, such as format operations and the rest of the operations, but of course with the different orders themselves. Okay, completely. Now a very important question remains, and I am sure a lot of young men who want to ask him, and the question is, are these orders, if we use them in the special tools between us, we can do the ADB mode? All Samsung mobile phones in general, I will tell you, not at the same time, and I will tell you, because you can use the same orders with the most expensive Samsung models. I will tell you no, because these orders are possible, some of which are not working on some modern models or models that have been updated to the levels of protection because Samsung, when you discover the smalls that are exploited on its devices. So, security updates are exported to some models, so that the small signs will be blocked, and therefore new protection is in which there are neutralization or blocking of some task orders. To activate the ADB mode, and therefore the activation of the ADB mode fails to fail on the devices that have modern protection with a modern date, and here, BIG remained the role of programmers in searching for different orders. To activate the ADB mode or bypass the ban and blocking imposed on the implementation of old orders, and the topic is possible to take some time and research and experience, but in the other we explain to you the mechanism of work used on the various software tools. And now you are interested and you have the enthusiasm that you are trying for yourself, because I will not give you and help you in this topic because you are my love, as I told you. And now from more than a year and a text, and specifically with the smallest of the IDP, I was a simple tool that relies on the orders. And I will give you all the links on the topic that is in the description of this video. In this tool I was lifting it, and it's open source, very easily, you can carry your tool on the computer. And it carries the DNSPY program if you do not have it, and you will be satisfied with the link in the video description, and then you import the executive file for the program on the program. Then you can see the source code and the sequence of the process from the beginning, and take an example of a full work on the way to carry out orders, and take the orders in the tool and integrate them into the tool with your ease. And you start after working with your hands, developing your own tools and trying them yourself, because with time, your skills and experiences increase. Just like that, and I was real, I tired in this video, so I can show you the simple way that you saw. If you liked the quality of this videos, I wish you would tell me in the comments so that we can complete the rest of the series' videos. And see you on the best of the video that comes, God willing. Peace.